Welcome to the stem changing verbs lesson. In this lesson, you will learn to conjugate verbs that have the E to IE spelling change in the stem. Tener is a verb we've learned and revisited several times. Let's review the forms. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, usted tiene, nosotros tenemos, vosotros tenéis, ellos, ellas, ustedes tienen. As you can see, the first E in the infinitive, or the original form of the verb, changes to IE in three places. Second person singular, or the tú form, third person singular, or the él, ella, usted form, and third person plural, also known as ellos, ellas, ustedes form. This change from E to IE is called a stem change because we've made a change to the stem of the verb. Remember that the stem of tener is ten, the ending is er. However, tener is irregular because it not only has a stem change, but it also has a G when conjugated in the yo form. Pensar is very similar to tener. It also has a stem change from E to IE. Let's take a look at the forms. Yo pienso, tú piensas, él, ella, usted piensa, nosotros pensamos, vosotros pensáis, ellos, ellas, ustedes piensan. Notice that pensar has a stem change in the yo form instead of the G like in tengo. Stem changing verbs are often called boot verbs because the stem changes occur inside a boot shape. Let's take another look at the similarities and differences between tener and pensar. Notice that both verbs do not have a stem change in the nosotros and vosotros forms. Let's look at one more E to IE stem changing verb, the verb querer, which means to want. You'll see that the stem changes occur just like pensar. Yo quiero, tú quieres, él, ella, usted quiere, nosotros queremos, vosotros queréis, ellos, ellas, ustedes quieren. And you can see outside the boot there is no stem change. Let's now compare pensar and querer. Here you can see that all of the singular forms and the third person plural forms have the E to IE stem change. If you could imagine a boot, you'd see that the stem changes are all inside the boot, while the nosotros and vosotros forms would be outside the boot. Therefore, they retain the E in the stem. Besides perder and querer, there are other verbs that have the E to IE stem change, like pensar, preferir, empezar, merendar, entender, encerrar. Usually if you find one of these verbs in a glossary or dictionary, it would be labeled E:IE inside parentheses to let you know that it has the E to IE stem change.